Namaste, welcome to Vinyasa Flow Yoga. My name is Michelle Chua. Grab a couple of yoga blocks and a strap, and let's begin in a comfortable seat of your choice. In Tuesday's class, we talked about pratyahara, which is the fifth of the 8 limbs of yoga according to the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. I want to read an excerpt from the Yoga Sutras about pratyahara. We talked about it being the practice of withdrawing our energy from our senses, from the external stimuli through the senses. So here's what it says. The senses are like a mirror. Turned outward, they reflect the outside. Turned inward, they reflect the pure light. By themselves, the senses are innocent, but when allowed to turn outside, they attract everything and transfer those messages to the mind, making it useless. Making it restless. Turned inward, they find peace by taking the form of the mind itself. The senses are, in effect, a gateway that allows externals to come into the mind. For example, if we look at a cabinet, we can only understand it as a cabinet if our mind takes that form. This is the law of perception. That's why when we concentrate on something holy or sacred, the mind takes that form. When the mind retains it, we get those pictures even in our dreams. When we have sense control, we only allow the mind to take the forms we want. And here is the benefit of practicing pratyahara, being intentional with what you take in and put into your mind. So let's begin grounding to your left and right sitting bones, lifting tall to your spine, and relaxing the shoulders down. As your body is still, begin to pay more attention to it, the sensations, and observe your physical state as you begin your practice of yoga. Then bring your awareness to your breath as it naturally flows, sensing its qualities. Observe your energetic state as you begin. Now take notice of your mind. What has it been taking in today? And notice the effect of that now as you're sitting here. Is the mind feeling restless, calm, steady, spacious? Observe how you feel mentally and emotionally. Now let's bring intention to how we direct our mind, our body, and our breath. Start by a thought of gratitude. What is something you can genuinely appreciate right now? And then begin to clarify one thing you'd like to focus on in this practice and strengthen and cultivate in your experience. Then, thinking of the greater whole that we affect, I invite you to choose someone, a community, or a cause that you care about to dedicate your practice to today. And let's join our voices chanting 3 ohms in support of each other. Exhale this breath out. Inhale through the nose deeply. Let's begin to deepen the breath, regulating your mind and your body, specifically with Ujjayi Pranayama, or victorious breathing technique. As you close your lips, sustain your breath evenly in and out through your nose, while softly narrowing the back of your throat to create a gentle whispering sound. Invite the qualities of calm, balance, and steadiness in what you can hear of your breath. And then please lower your into hands and knees. Spread your fingers wide and flat. Tuck your toes behind you and lift your hips into downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Allow a few breaths to pedal out your feet and warm up the backs of your legs. And any other kind of movement that you might need to loosen up your body. Keeping the breath going gently, audibly. As you're in downward facing dog, spread your fingers, rooting down through the base of your thumbs and index fingers, while stretching your index fingers straight forward or slightly turning them out. Keep your hands still and rotate the outer sides of your upper arms, which are your triceps, towards the ground, thus spreading your shoulder blades wider across your back ribs as you lift the shoulders away from your neck to stabilize your shoulders. Keeping all of those actions, engage your belly in and inhale, come forward into plank pose, stacking your shoulders over your wrists. Either keep your legs straight or place your knees on the ground directly under your hips. Lengthen the back of your neck, steadying your gaze just ahead of your thumbs, and then flex your right foot off the floor, trying to keep your two hips leveled in height. Press back through both inner heels and either stay here or begin to raise your left arm forward like you're about to shake someone's hand in front of you, or your upper arm aligns with your ear as you draw your left shoulder back. 3 more breaths. Keep lengthening forward through your chest and the crown of your head, backward to your tailbone and your inner heels. Then set your hands and feet on the ground and return to downward facing dog. Slow breath in. Ease it out to your nose. Again, rotate your triceps towards the ground and lift the shoulders back. Engage your abdomen and glide forward into plank. Shoulders over wrists. Gaze on the ground ahead of your thumbs. Now, without seesawing your hips, flex your left foot off the ground. Breathe here. Stay here or add, raising your right arm forward like you're about to shake someone's hand, where upper arm aligns with your ear. Then draw your right shoulder back into its socket. 3 more breaths. Keep lifting your navel towards your spine. Lower your hands and feet to the floor and walk up to the front of your mat. Standing forward folds. Bend your knees here with your feet apart, hips distance parallel. Reach your hands behind you to clasp or hold a strap between them. Roll your shoulders up away from your neck as you drop your head freely and breathe. Stretching into the front of your shoulders by reaching your arms away from your lower back. Steady breathing. Plant your fingertips either on blocks or the ground in front of your toes. And inhale to stretch your spine forward into half forward fold, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, bow from your hips into forward fold, Uttanasana. Press down to your feet. Inhale, sweep your arms forward and rise all the way up, rolling your shoulders behind your ears and down as you lift your chest, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, join your hands in front of your heart in mountain pose, Padasana. Bring your intention to mind, and let's flow with intention, body to the breath. Surya Namaskar, sun salutation. Inhale, sweep your arms forward. And again, back bend at the top. Exhale, fold from your hips. Plant your fingertips on the ground. Inhale, step your left knee back. Kneeling lunge, look up. Holding your breath, step into plank pose. As you exhale, lower your knees, then your chest, then your chin. Ashtangasana. Inhale, slide your belly to the ground, root the tops of your feet, and coil your chest up, cobra. Exhale, tuck your toes, lift your hips back to downward dog. Inhale, step your left foot beside your left thumb and lower your back knee, look up, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, step your right foot forward and bow. Inhale, sweep your arms forward into Urdhva Hastasana again. Exhale, Padasana, hands at your hearts. Same sequence, one more time. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. This time, inhale, step the right knee back, Anjaneyasana. Holding your breath, step into plank. Exhale, lower knees, chest, chin, Ashtangasana. Inhale, slide to the ground in Cobra, Bhujangasana. Exhale to down dog or Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, right foot forward, left knee down, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, left foot forward, Uttanasana, fold. Inhale, root down to rise, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, together at your heart, Padasana. Next Sun Salutation series, inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, again with a back bend. Exhale, Uttanasana, fold. Press down with your hands. Inhale, lift your chest to Ardha Uttanasana. Step into plank. As you exhale, glide forward and lower all the way for Cobra, or halfway down in Chaturanga, flip your toes and coil your chest into upward facing dog. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Let your body be still for 3 deep breaths as you steady your gaze on one spot. After your third exhale, walk or lightly jump to the front of your mat. Uttanasana. Inhale, press with your hands, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale again, Uttanasana. Press with your feet. Inhale, rise, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Padasana. Once more, inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Step to plank and lower, or lightly jump to Chaturanga. Take it through your Vinyasa. Pause in downward facing dog for 3 deep breaths. After the third exhale, walk or float to the top. Then inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Padasana. Moving on to our third Sun Salutation series. Bring your feet together so they touch, and let your knees touch as you breathe in to sit into chair pose, Utkatasana. Exhale, lean forward and fold, Uttanasana. Inhale again, Ardha Uttanasana. Step to plank or float to Chaturanga Dandasana. Finish your Vinyasa. When you arrive at downward facing dog, keep your hips leveled and inhale, raise your right leg back. Softly, exhale, step the foot beside your right thumb, spin your back heel down. Facing forward, inhale, rise to Warrior One. Then exhale all the way down into your Vinyasa. At Downward facing dog again. Keep your hips leveled. Inhale, raise your left leg. Exhale, step the foot lightly beside your left thumb. Drop your right heel. Inhale, rise to Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale, lower into your Vinyasa. At downward facing dog, pause, be still. Steady your awareness on your breath. 3 cycles. After the 3rd exhale, walk or float to the front of your mat. Feet touching, inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. With knees touching, inhale, sink your hips low, Utkatasana, chair pose. Exhale, rise up, hands together at the heart, Padasana. Same sequence, one last time. Inhale, sit back, Utkatasana. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Step or float, continue into your Vinyasa. Without feeling rushed, go at the pace of your own breath. When you arrive at downward dog, inhale, raise your right leg. Exhale your foot beside your right thumb, drop the back heel. Inhale, rise to warrior 1. Exhale, lower into your Vinyasa. At downward dog, side 2, take it all the way through. Warrior 1. Finish the Vinyasa at your pace. Once again, downward dog. Be still, steady your gaze for 3 slow breaths. Here, continue to roll your triceps downward, lift your shoulders away from the neck, and lifting your sitting bones high, firm the front tops of your thigh bones back, and sink your heels towards the ground. At the end of your 3rd exhale, walk or float to the front. With feet touching, inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. Knees touching, inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, rise up. All right, from here, let's step the feet apart, hips distance or wider, parallel to each other. And this time, bring your hands to your hips. Roll your shoulders back. Inhale, look up. With a long spine, exhale, fold forward. And if helpful, bend your knees as we stretch the outer wrists in Padahastasana. Lifting your toes, slip your palms face up underneath the soles of your feet. Try to get your toes to meet the inner creases of your wrists. Keeping your hands under, inhale, lift your chest through your upper arms, drawing your shoulders back. Keep leaning forward and exhale, bow from your hips, dropping your head. If possible, bend your elbows apart as you do this and try to lift your shoulders up away from your neck. Relax your jaw. 3 more breaths. Then slip your palms out from underneath. Grab a block and place it off to the right edge of your mat behind your right leg, but off to the side. Bend your knees and inhale, roll your spine slowly upright to stand. Join your hands together at your heart here with feet hips width apart. And activate your lower belly. Draw it in and lift it up. Keep your hips facing evenly forward and shift your weight onto your right foot. Bend your left knee in front of you and flex the foot. Like a slow motion giant step back, pass through warrior 3 by pressing your inner left heel towards your rear wall and tilting your torso forward until you've created a horizontal line with the center line of your body. Both hips squared to face the ground. When you're ready, step the ball of your left foot all the way back, entering crescent lunge, arms overhead. You might bend the back knee to help drop your tailbone and lift your frontal hip bones, turning your left hip forward as you stack the front knee over the heel. If your left hip flexor feels pretty warm, you might straighten the left leg. Steadying your gaze, your drishti, to steady your mind. Warrior two, spin the left heel down, align your right heel to the arch of your left foot. And as you open your arms wide, gaze past your right hand on one spot. Bend your right knee just above the heel and press your outer left foot deeply into the ground. Rotate your right outer hip under you and firm the top of your left thigh bone back. 3 more breaths. Virabhadrasana 2. Triangle pose, straighten your right leg, sweep your hips towards the rear wall and reach your right hand towards the front wall, placing it on the right side of your right shin on a block or the ground. Let's take the extended version. Rotate your left tricep to face the left wall and sweep your top arm overhead while sending the shoulders down your back. You might add the rigor of micro-bending your right knee and raising the right arm parallel to the left. Either way, tack the crease of your right hip towards the rear edge of your mat and spin your chest slightly to face the sky. Last 3 breaths in Utthita Trikonasana. Look at your right toes. Plant your hands and step to plank pose. We're not taking a full-on vinyasa, so listen here. Think of a chaturanga push-up. Inhale, keep the belly lifted and glide forward. Exhale, bend your elbows 90 degrees to hug your ribs only. Pause here, inhale. Exhale, engage the belly and press up to plank. Downward facing dog. Deep breaths. In downward facing dog, to help you keep your 2 hips leveled in height, firm your outer hips towards your midline and raise the back leg from the inseam. Inhale, lift your right leg behind you, flexing the foot. Think of this like warrior 3. Engage the belly in, from back through the inner right heel, and tack your left outer hip back to equally lengthen the left and right sides of your torso and both arms. Take another deep breath. Exhale, slowly round forward, bending the right knee towards your nose. Maybe even try to kiss your knee, literally. And step it forward. Step the left foot forward. Inhale, roll up to stand. Join your hands at your heart. Keep your hips facing forward as you shift your weight onto your left foot. Engage the lower belly and flex your right foot off the ground in front. Slow motion, take a giant step back into crescent lunge, passing through warrior 3. You might pause there a few breaths. When you arrive at crescent lunge, raise your arms, drop your tailbone, and lift your frontal hip bones. You might straighten the back leg. Warrior 2, spin your right heel down and align your left heel to the arch of your right foot. As you open your arms, gaze past your left hand. Bend your left knee right on top of your left heel and firm your outer right foot into the ground. Rotate your left outer hip underneath you and firm the top of your right thigh bone back. Let's listen to 3 more breaths. Triangle pose. Straighten your left leg and sweep your hips sideways towards your rear wall. Reach your left hand beyond your left knee, placing it on the left side of your left shin. Let's take the extended version again. Rotate your right tricep to face the right wall and sweep the top arm overhead. Press both shoulders down your back. If you added the rigor of raising the bottom arm too, microbend your left knee and parallel your arms to each other. Spin your chest slightly towards the sky. Utthita Trikonasana. 3 more breaths. Look down at your left toes. Step into plank pose. Pause in plank. Again, chaturanga push-up. Rotate the triceps back and press the shoulder blades down your back. Then inhale, glide forward. Exhale, pause halfway, hug the elbows in. Pause as you breathe in. Lift the navel. Exhale, press up. Downward facing dog. Squaring your hips evenly. Inhale, raise your left leg from the inseam and flex the foot. Breathe here. Tacking your right outer hip back. Equally lengthen both sides of your waist. Take another deep breath. Then exhale, round forward through plank. Maybe try to kiss your left knee. Then step the foot forward, step the right foot forward. And this time bring the inner edges of your feet to touch. Bend your knees. Inhale, chair pose. Let's add a twist. Join your hands at your heart. And exhale, begin to twist to the right for a few breaths. Maybe hooking the elbow outside your leg. Make sure you're not twisting your pelvis. If you look at your knees, left knee should not be coming forward more than the right knee. Keep them even. Stay in twisting chair or move into an arm balance of twisting crow if you know that practice. You're either in Parita Utkatasana or Parita Bakasana. Slowly come back to chair pose through center. And exhale, rise up to mountain. Full breath in. Long exhale, keep the Ujjayi breath going. Side 2, bend your knees, sit low. Inhale, Utkatasana. Join your hands. Exhale, twist to your left, little by little. Keep your knees even. Stay in revolved chair or move on to twisting crow. One more breath where you are. Take your time to come through center, inhaling into chair pose. Exhale, rise up to stand. We're not quite done with chair yet. Come, bring your feet together. This time, extend your arms in front of you, palms face up. And sit into chair as you slowly glide your glutes down an imaginary wall behind you, entering boat Navasana. You might catch the backs of your knees and kick your feet forward, or keep it arms free, maybe straighten the legs. Last 4 breaths, breathe in and lift your pelvic floor, lengthen your spine up. Keep the breath going. Steady your eyes. Bring your intention to your mind. What are you dedicating your efforts to? One more deep breath, Navasana. Cross your shins or slide your legs to one side, plant your hands in front, and step or float back. Whether you take a vinyasa or some cat-cows, let's meet in downward facing dog. At downward facing dog, again, square your hips and inhale, raise your right leg back. Exhale, step your right foot about 5 inches behind your right wrist. Short stance. Spin the back heel down like warrior 1 facing forward. Grab your strap, bring your hands to your hips, then inhale, rise up. Let's prepare for pyramid pose with our arms in cow face pose. So holding the strap in your left hand, raise your left arm and dangle the strap behind your back. Rotate your left tricep forward and bring the elbow behind your head. Press both shoulders down and seal in your bottom front ribs. Reach your right hand behind you and grab the other end of the strap, walking your hands as close together as you can. If your hands can meet to clasp, then you can let go of the strap. Spread your toes and energize your legs, firming in the belly. Inhale, look up. Like there's a string pulling your sternum forward past the front edge of your mat. Begin to bow as you continue to lengthen your spine. Inhale, pause, square your hips evenly and root through your feet as you lengthen. Exhale, continue to bow. Parsvottanasana. One more deep breath. Keep engaging your belly and legs. Inhale, lift your spine parallel to the floor. Microbend your right knee and either plant your fingertips on blocks, join your hands at your heart, and lean forward into Warrior 3 again. Playing with any variation of your arms, you're going to stay here longer than before. You might reach the arms back by your sides, you might open them wide, you might extend them overhead. Keep lifting your navel and turning your left hip to face the floor. Now, either step into a standing forward fold as you pass through or stay balancing on one leg. Let's meet standing with the left knee bent in front. Place your right hand on your right hip and we'll prepare for hand to big toe. Bring your left arm on the inner side of your left leg and clasp your left big toe or grab a strap to hold the strap around the ball of your foot instead. Kick your left foot forward as you plug your left shoulder back. Pressing that shoulder down, drop your left hip to align with the height of your right hip. Then press firmly through your right foot and lift up your pelvic floor, lift up to your crown, raise your right arm up. Uttita Hasta Parangushtasana. Check in with your breathing. Let's add a twist, whether you bend the left knee and hold the outer knee with your right hand, or switch hands holding the strap, or use the right hand to hold your outer left foot. Place your left thumb on the outer left hip crease, drawing it down as you stand taller. Breathe in. Exhale, turn your chest to the left, and maybe choose to reach the left arm behind you, starting to look towards it. Twisting hand to big toe pose. Parita Uttita Hasta Parangushtasana. Two more breaths. Stay in the posture, look forward, breathe in. Exhale, mountain pose. Let your feet touch again. Extend your arms forward with your palms up and sit into chair, sliding your glutes down an imaginary wall, lower to the ground into Navasana one more time. Take your version of boat pose for 5 deep breaths. Tuning inward, bring the practice of Pratyahara to help you steady your body and your mind. One more deep breath. Cross the opposite shin on top or swing your legs to the other side. Take your own route to downward facing dog, Vinyasa or not. At downward facing dog, keep your hips leveled and inhale, raise your left leg behind you. Exhale the foot forward 5 inches behind your left wrist. Spin your right heel down, grab your strap, bring your hands to your hips, then inhale, rise. This time raise your right hand holding the strap, dangling it behind you. Rotate your right tricep forward, bring the elbow behind your head. Reach the left hand underneath, grab the other end of the strap, Walk your hands as close together as you can, or clasp your hands. Spread your toes, activate your leg muscles and your belly. Then inhale, lift your chest. Keep your throat open, and exhale, begin to hinge forward from your hips. Parsvottanasana. With your arms in, Gomukhasana. One more deep breath. Lifting your spine parallel to the floor. Prepare your hands for the variation you choose to get into Warrior 3. Hands on blocks, hands together in prayer. Either move through a standing forward fold or stay balancing on one leg and raise your right knee in front of you. Hand to big toe pose. Place your left hand on your left hip and either clasp your right big toe with your right peace fingers or hold a strap around the ball of the foot. Kicking your right foot forward, draw the right shoulder back and down and drop your right hip to the level of the left. Raise your left arm up and breathe. Getting taller and taller by rooting down to rise up. Let's add a twist. Switch hands, hold the outer knee if the knee's bent, hold the strap or the outer foot with the left hand. Use the right thumb and roll the right hip down as you stand taller and breathe. Exhale, twist to your right and reach the right arm back. Maybe look towards it. Keep twisting and breathing. Stay where you are. Gaze forward, breathe in. Exhale, step it down, mountain pose. Let's come on down to hands and knees, and you can choose your active inversion of either dolphin pose while raising one leg, resting, and then raise the opposite leg, similarly to how we did in Warrior 3 and in Downward Facing Dog. Keeping your hips even in height and facing the ground, so you're lifting the leg from the inseam rather than turning out the leg, like I'm doing with my arm. Keep the knee and toes turned down. So you're either going into there, or if you have no neck issues, follow me into practicing Salamba Chaturvangasana, which is supported headstand. We'll get into it with raising a leg similarly. So whether you're going to dolphin or Salamba Chaturvangasana, extend your arms forward and rotate your triceps down. Remember the same thing, to stabilize the shoulders, plug them down too. Interlace your fingers and plant your elbows exactly shoulders width apart on the floor. Make sure they stay shoulders width apart. If they move, come back down and adjust. This is important for shoulder stability. If you're going to dolphin, drop your head and bear no weight on it. If you're going to headstand, place the crown of your head to the floor and lightly support the back of your skull with your inner palms. Press down with your forearms to lift the shoulders up and invite spaciousness in your neck. Breathe. Then tuck your toes, lift the hips, and maybe walk the toes forward if possible. Stacking the shoulders over your elbows. Now, if you're lifting a leg, do so from the inseam like we've been practicing, flexing the foot, squaring the hips. Maybe you lift both legs to come into headstand, or if you're taking a one-legged version of dolphin, give yourself maybe 5 breaths per leg, resting in between as you might need. Eventually, when you're done, let's meet in child's pose. When you arrive in child's pose or balasana, place your arms wherever you can rest or feel rest. A few breaths there. Roll yourself up and let's prepare for supine hero's pose to further open up our quadriceps and hip flexors. So see what your knees are allowing you to do, what feels safe for you in your body. If your knees are feeling sensitive, trying to sit on your calves, grab something to sit on, like a block between your ankles or 2 blocks. Make sure your toes are pointing back and you can feel your pinky toenails pressing the ground. This helps to know you're safely aligning your knees. If you can sit on your calves, stay there, or gently move them aside and sit on the floor between your ankles. Then keep your knees on the ground, no wider apart than hips distance. And as you walk your hands behind you, take your time exploring how far back you might be able to lean without impinging on the lower back or anywhere else. So be mindful and observe the sensations in your body guiding you to your parameters where you can practice a balance of effort and ease and hear those qualities in your breath. Seal in the bottom of your front ribs and stretch your tailbone forward towards the space between your knees. If you're on your back, you might raise your arms overhead and hold opposite elbows for maybe 3 breaths and then switch the elbow on top. From here, slowly begin to lift your torso upright. Then come all the way down to your stomach to lie face down, preparing to practice locust shalabhasana. Rest your forehead on the ground and bring your knees as close together as you can. Keep your feet parallel to each other and actively, for now, press every toenail into the floor and stretch the legs long behind you. Press your pubic bone into the ground. These actions help to stabilize your lower back. Now, bring your arms down by your sides with your palms face down. Keep your feet on the floor, and as you inhale, coil your chest off the floor, gently lifting your head, your arms too. If you have lower back issues, keep your feet rooting onto the ground. If not, raise your legs too. Maybe you open the arms apart and rotate the front of the shoulders back, turning the palms more to face forward. Maybe you raise the arms overhead where the upper arms align with your ears as you plug your shoulders back. Give yourself a total of 5 to 7 deep breaths in Shalabhasana. Such a helpful posture to strengthen the muscles that support your spine, such as the erectus spinae all alongside it, various back muscles. When you're done, drop everything and rest for 3 breaths. Observing your body. The next back bend is optional, of course. You could practice the same one if you prefer. The next one is bow. Dhanurasana. Again, slide your knees close together, forehead to the floor. This time, bend your knees and reach back with your hands to catch your outer feet, good place to start, or your inner feet might take you deeper. Press your pubic bone into the ground and kick your feet away as you pull them towards your glutes, lifting your knees high as you coil your chest up, pressing the shoulders back and down for 5 to 7 breaths. Another way to stabilize your lower back in this posture is to keep your knees no wider apart than your hips distance. Lengthen the back of your neck so you're not tensing the neck. Relax your jaw, relax between your eyes. When you're done, drop everything and rest for 3 breaths again. This time, press up to sit and step your feet in front of you. Let's prepare for one last back bend in either bridge or upward facing bow. Take a block by the skinny width if you want to add lower back support, and hug it firmly between your knees and thighs. Separate your feet as wide apart as your knees, about hips distance apart, and make sure they stay parallel to each other. Lower onto your back and bring your arms down by your sides. To help locate your heels with your fingertips, have your heels only as close where you could almost touch them with your fingers, but not quite. For bridge, ground your shoulders, lift your pelvis, and walk the upper arms under your back ribs, maybe clasp your hands. For upward bow, flip your palms face down, fingertips pointing at your shoulder heads, elbows no wider than shoulders width apart, keep the arms parallel. Then lift like bridge, and maybe press all the way up. Urdhva Dhanurasana. Whatever option, activate your hamstrings with the isometric action of dragging the heels back while lengthening the front of your thighs forward. 5 to 7 breaths in total. We'll meet in supine bound angle pose, Supta Baddha Konasana. That's where your back is completely on the ground and you drop your knees apart, bringing the soles of your feet together to touch. Maybe resting your left hand at your heart center and your right hand below your belly button. From here, place your hands on your outer thighs and cross your right thigh over the left. Slide your hips about 4 or 5 inches closer to the right edge of your mat and open your right arm wide on the floor. Keep grounding the right shoulder and lift your feet, then drop your knees to the left into a supine spinal twist. Breathe. Gently unwind to center, switch the cross of your legs, and slide your pelvis closer to the left edge of your mat. Open your left arm wide and ground that shoulder, then lift your feet and begin to twist to your right side. Long breaths. Gently unwind to center and either come into happy baby pose, catching your outer feet as you splay the feet apart, or straddle the legs wide and clasp your big toes, or rest your arms on your inner thighs. In either posture, ground your tailbone and shoulders. Slide your hands to your outer thighs again and close your knees like a book. Roll yourself up to sit for a seated forward fold, Paschimottanasana. You might opt to use a strap around the balls of your feet or eventually clasp your big toes. Flex your feet and press the insteps forward, and ground your sitting bones and lift tall through your spine as you breathe in. Take a slight lift at your chest as you exhale, begin to fold, breath by breath. One more breath here. Then press down to your pelvis. Inhale, lift from your chest slowly. Before we come down to rest in Shavasana, let's practice a cooling breathing technique that can also help us to practice Pratyahara, which is tuning inward, letting go of putting our energy into the senses that take in the external stimuli and focusing more inward into subtle energy body. So it's Nadi Shodhana Pranayama, or alternate nostril breathing. Sit in a way that you can relax but be alert. Body is open for the breath to flow easily. Rest your left hand on your lap. Choose a mudra if you prefer. You could take a chin or Gyan mudra, thumb and index fingers together, palm face down, grounding energy, palm face up, energizing. Or Pran mudra, which cultivates vital life force energy. It looks like a peace sign with a palm face up. Right hand, place it in Vishnu mudra. Stick out your thumb, pinky, and ring finger. In this technique of breathing, close your lips and sustain your breath gently in and out through the nose. We'll use the right thumb to close the right nostril. We'll use the ring and pinky to close the left nostril when we alternate nostrils in breathing. Let's take 3 cycles together, then 2 cycles on your own. You might like to close your eyes and steady your gaze inward at your Ajna chakra, third eye, or brow center. Empty this breath. Hold it out. Right thumb close, right nostril. Inhale through left. Hold the breath. Close left. Exhale right. Hold the breath. Stay here and inhale right. Hold the breath. Close right. Exhale left. Hold the breath. That's 1 cycle. Second cycle. Inhale left for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath. 3, 2, 1. Close left. Exhale right for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 3, 2, 1. Inhale right. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 3, 2, 1. Close right. Exhale left. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 3, 2, 1. Third round. Inhale left. 6. Hold 3. Close left. Exhale right. 6. Hold 3. Close right. Exhale left. 6. Hold 3. Continue 2 more cycles on your own. When you finish, rest both hands, relax the breathing to natural, pause and observe what you're experiencing. Then gently begin to lower your body into a comfortable position of rest where you can stretch out your legs, splay out your arms, and turn the palms face up. Feel free to use any props to support your body so that you can rest in stillness for the next few minutes of corpse pose, Shavasana. As you rest a little longer in corpse pose, with your eyes closed, mentally scan your body. Observe how you're feeling now physically. Then gently begin to move your body, waking it up out of stillness. Slowly turn over to your right side and rest there for a moment. Noticing your natural breath flow. Observe how you feel now energetically. Then root your hands into the earth and gently rise into a comfortable seat, preparing to sit for 5 minutes silently in meditation. Position your body where you can feel grounded, alert, and relaxed. Position your hands to help facilitate mental focus. Close your eyes or steady a soft gaze ahead, and let's begin landing your awareness gently on to the sensations of your breath. Those stimuli may come and go, like sounds or even a thought or emotion might stimulate you. Let them be as they are. No need to grasp or resist. Continue to practice tuning inward onto the breath. Deeper and deeper inward. Relax your attention. Perhaps you even go so subtly deep inward that you notice the pulsation of your heart. Gently begin to expand your awareness from inward to the layers moving outward of your being, back to your physical body as a whole. And notice how you feel now mentally and emotionally, sensing the effects of your yoga practice. You might bring your palms together at your heart as you offer gratitude for something that you appreciate right now. And with that, remember your intention that you set. And remember to whom or what you dedicated this practice to. See them receiving benefit. To close, let's join our voices in chanting 3 ohms. Let that resonance that you both give and receive be a way of expanding the intention for you and those around you. Inhale deeply. Bow in towards the light within you. The light in me bows to the light in you. Namaste.